Welcome to another part of our CSS tutorial. In this part, I will go over the position property. This property specifies positioning of an element. You can set it to the value static, relative, fixed, absolute, or sticky. Now over here I have this span which I added the light green color to. So I'll add the property to this one. So I'll add position, and then for its default value it's static. You can also make it relative, and now when you make it relative, then you're allowed to use the top, bottom, right, left properties to add spacing. So for example, if I add top and text 10 pixels, it'll move the span down 10 pixels, as you see here. Also note that when you use top, bottom, right, left with a relative position, rest of the elements will not adjust to make room for this, which is why you see that this element now overlaps the text at the bottom. For example, if I make it bottom, now it'll move to the top, and if I make it right, it'll add space to the right, and if I make it left, it'll add space to the left, as you see. Now you can also use the fixed position. What this does is it fixes the element to wherever you place it, and when you scroll up or down, it will not change the position of the element. So for example, if I make it top and 0 pixels, it will place this span at the top of this page. So if I save and refresh, here you see. Now if you wanted to add the top left side, then you also need to put left, and I'll also make it 0 pixel, as you see here. Now if I scroll, it will not move, as you see here. Also note that since this moved, it allowed the rest of the text to fill in where this was, so it doesn't take up any space where it was originally intended to go. You can also use sticky. So for example, if I make this sticky and top 0, so if you save, now when I scroll down, now you see that when it reached the top of 0, it became fixed. Now if I scroll further down, since this span was inside this paragraph, when the entire paragraph went up, at that point it scrolled upwards. So you can also make the paragraph sticky as well. So for example, if I had added it to this P1, like P1, and let me just copy this. Also note, when you use sticky position, you need to give at least one of these positions, so that when that position is reached, it can become fixed. So if I save, and let me just remove the SP1. If I save and refresh, you'll see that this paragraph sticks around when I scroll down, as you see here, and the text in the background just scrolls behind it. So let me add the SP1 back, and I'll remove this sticky. So if I make the position absolute, this will position the span relative to the parent element. So if I make it top 0 pixels, it will move to the top. Also note that it will only work if the parent element is also positioned. So if I add position and let's say I'll make it relative. So now since this is positioned, all the p tags are positioned, and I have this here. Now if I refresh, now you see that this is positioned relative to the parent element. Removing the position makes this span be positioned relative to the body, as you see here. So this is it for the position property of CSS. If you have any questions, do leave a comment and remember to subscribe. Thank you.